мой взгляд, сейчас самый справедливый бой за чемпионство в легком весе между кем? Между Ильей Топурией и Арманом Царукяном?
Ну да, конечно. Если кто-то когда-то, не знаю, в истории страховал бой, делал вес, он всегда дрался почти. Ну, я не помню в истории, чтобы не давали бой. Арман сделал последний турнир вес, подстраховал бой. И я думаю, он должен быть следующий. Он доказал, что у него же была проблема с весогонкой. Он доказал, что может спускаться, гонять вес. И я думаю, что это самый актуальный бой на данный момент.
У кого было бы больше всего шансов на победу?
Ну, я думаю, если честно, если Арман выйдет с правильным настроем, то он справится.
He's been calling out Ilia. Who would fight? Who would win that fight, you reckon?
Oh, I think there's a reason that Ilia doesn't really want to get in the octagon with him. I think Arman's a problem, and it's everyone in the division is kind of ducking him at the moment. You know, Ilia's taking some time off, and then the other two don't want to fight him. Paddy and Gaethje, they both don't want to fight Arman, so now they're fighting each other. So he's kind of just left in the lurch. Maybe I'll get past BSD, and I think I'll be the only guy to put my hand up to run it back with Arman. Who cares?
What if I told you the most dangerous man, potentially the most dangerous man in the UFC lightweight division, isn't holding the belt? What if the champion is on vacation, the number one contender is being ignored, and the UFC just lit a match and threw it into the room full of gasoline? Because right now, guys, the lightweight division isn't just stacked, it's on the verge of exploding. And at the center of it all, Ilia Topuria, Arman Tsarukyan, and a fight that feels inevitable. All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz, and on this channel, we break down all the latest, most trending stories when it comes to the world of MMA, UFC, WWE, and boxing. All right, anything combat sports related, as long as it's trending, we want to talk about it. We want to dive into it. No fluff, just real fight talk, guys, real analysis. And today, I wanted to do a little bit of a dive into the chaos at 155 pounds in the brewing war that's insinuating between Ilia Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan. All right, let's get into this, guys. Let's get into this. What the heck is going on in the lightweight division? Let's set the stage. All right, the lightweight division has always been the UFC's most brutal weight class, guys. This is the division where legends are made. All right, it's chaotic, right? Like really, only the tough survive. Careers have been made here. Legacies have been forged here. This is the division that literally sets the tone for the UFC. Usually fighters from this division are either on the co-main event or main event. All right? And recently, it's just been pure chaos, right? We have Makhachev, the former king of this division, who vacated the throne to what? To chase welterweight status, welterweight gold. And when that happened, it created a massive power vacuum, guys, like you can't even imagine. And everybody wanted the belt. Everybody had an argument. Everybody had a reason as to why they were the best contender for that opportunity. But one man in particular believed that it was already his, Arman Tsarukyan. All right, so enter stage Arman. November 22nd, 2025, UFC Qatar. Arman Tsarukyan steps into the main event, and what happens? He's taking on none other than Dan the Hangman Hooker, who we all know is a seasoned veteran, unbelievable fighter, very consistent, a dangerous striker, and he's not an easy fight, guys. I mean, if you're coming to the office, be prepared to throw down, be prepared to get into an all slugfest, because Dan's the kind of guy that he doesn't go away easily. He puts up a show, he puts up a fight every single time. Okay? And that fight between Arman and Dan that meant everything. That meant everything to Arman, because after being forced to pull out of his title fight against Makhachev at UFC 311, and that was because of a back injury, this was his opportunity to redeem himself. This was his redemption moment. And from the opening bell, guys, I mean, you could see it. I mean, this wasn't a fight. It was a freaking statement. All right? Tsarukyan dragged Hooker into his world. It's a very scary world, guys. A parallel universe of paranormal proportions. Relentless pressure, elite grappling. I mean, total control. Round 1, pure dominance. Talk about making a statement. Round 2, more of the same. Another statement round for Arman. And at 3 minutes and 34 seconds, guys, Tsarukyan locked in a brutal arm triangle choke, and that was it. Tap, tap, tap. Fight is over. But what happened after that, guys? What happened after the fight? That's when it all began. That's when everything changed. Mic in hand, Tsarukyan, he didn't celebrate. He declared war. He said he's the only guy who wanted to fight me. Everybody else ran. Especially Ilia Topuria. Then Arman looked straight into the camera and he said, hey, if you're here, come on, we need to face off. There's only one number 1 contender, Arman Tsarukyan. This is not an easy fight, guys. And look, that what Arman displayed was pure confidence. It was pure adrenaline. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't scripted. He spoke from the heart. He spoke from emotion. All right? This was a challenge. And so now when we're talking about, like, where does Ilia stand on this? Like, where does Ilia Topuria stand? Like, so look, let's be clear. Ilia El Matador Topuria is a very, very special fighter. He's undefeated. He has that elite boxing capability. He's got that unbelievable MMA IQ sense. I mean, this is what makes him, like, so special. This is what makes him a champion. I mean, he shocked the world when he knocked out Alexander Volkanovski to become featherweight champion. All right? So I'm kind of getting to the point of the 2-division king, okay? And then after that, when he vacated the title, he wanted to move up to lightweight. And look, that happened at UFC 317, and he knocked out Charles Oliveira in the first round, guys, to be a 2-division champion. That fight, though, between Alexander Volkanovski, that was incredible, man. That was beautiful MMA. If you haven't seen that fight, guys, I would highly encourage you to go back. Actually, go watch not only the Volkanovski fight between him and Topuria, but also watch the Charles Oliveira and Topuria fight. You guys are going to be amazed. That was some serious technical MMA style fighting. Okay? That's historical stuff, guys. Right? Textbook style. But right after that, Topuria announced that he was going to be stepping away until mid-2026 for personal reasons. And guys, you have to honor that. I mean, these fighters come out every single day in, day out. They're putting their lives on the line, their bodies on the line, their mental and physical capabilities are all on the line because they know that this is their job. This is what they do. So when a fighter has to step away for personal reasons, you have to honor that. Okay? Enough said. All right? When Tsarukyan called him out, no face-off, there was no confrontation, just dismissive social media presence, okay? And that honestly led to the growing narrative to kind of where we're at today because, I mean, for Ilia Topuria avoiding probably one of the most dangerous matchup in the division, and I should reiterate, the speculation is Ilia Topuria is avoiding. this potential matchup, dangerous matchup between himself and Tsarukyan. Okay? Dan Hooker, actually, even Dan Hooker came out and said himself that Arman is a problem. Okay? Everybody seems to be ducking him. Fair or not, man, that perception is really starting to grow on people, and it's starting to grow on the fan base. And at some point, something's got to give, right? So here, this is kind of where it gets a little bit personal, right? Because before Topuria ever even touched the lightweight title belt, that title fight was supposed to be Arman Tsarukyan's. Okay, UFC 311 scheduled to fight Makhachev for the championship. I mean, that's a career moment, and then disaster. And what am I talking about? Disaster, right? A severe back injury that ended up forcing him out 1 day prior to the fight. All right, Makhachev found a replacement, and he found it quick, and then he later vacated the belt. And suddenly, Topuria steps in and claims the throne. Okay, it was just like tick tock tack. It was very strategic. It was very meticulous. And you can't hate on Topuria for doing what he did, because it was there for the taking. That belt technically was meant for him, and that changes everything, right? I mean, it changed the whole dynamic, conversation, especially when it comes to the lightweight division, right? Okay, so let's just take a pause for a second, guys. If you're enjoying this mini deep dive into the chaos in the lightweight division, please take the time to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It definitely helps the channel more than you guys can think, and it lets us know and lets me know that you want more breakdowns like this. I totally enjoy what I do and pumping out these videos for you guys. Smashing that like button and subscribing would certainly help. Thank you, guys. Now, just when things started to seem inevitable, right? The UFC turns around and throws this huge curveball, and then Topuria's like sidelined, and then they announce an interim lightweight title fight at UFC 324, right? So I've been talking a little bit about this, and so as part of the new Paramount deal between UFC and Paramount, and I covered that extensively as well too, and it's worth upwards of about between close to about $8 billion. Okay, let me just put it that way. And so Dana White came out, and he announced a few different matches, and so this is what happens, right? He announces a match at 324, but it doesn't include Arman Tsarukyan. Instead, we've got Paddy the Baddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. Now, the highlight reel, I'm talking about Justin, is loving this, guys. Okay? From a business perspective, massive announcement. But a lot of people are questioning the merit behind it, because a lot of people feel that Arman did everything right and everything that he was supposed to be able to be given that opportunity to fight at UFC 324, and then he ends up still getting passed over. All right? So with Topuria out now because of personal reasons, that belt is vacated. You would think it would have been Arman Tsarukyan fighting for that belt, potentially against Paddy the Baddy, or maybe even Justin Gaethje, or somebody else for that matter. But in this case, Dana White felt that Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje would be the better fight. All right. We also have Nunez versus Harrison, and then we also have Volkanovski and Lopez fighting at UFC 325. So those are some of the matches that he announced. So this is kind of like, for Arman, it felt a little bit of a betrayal, because he's like, look, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I put my heart out on the line. I did everything that I was supposed to. I thought I was doing everything right, but he feels like he's actually being punished for this. Now, the division is an entire soap opera, because look, you also got to look at it from Dana White's perspective. What is he supposed to do? The division is stacked. Does he just keep fighting Arman? Like, Arman just fought. He fought Dan Hooker in UFC Qatar. Now he's giving some other people an opportunity. He's giving Paddy and Justin Gaethje an opportunity to fight at the next big one. yeah, I mean, it does kind of feel like Arman kind of got looked over, but what are you supposed to do? You can't just there's other fighters who deserve an opportunity as well too. I mean, I think what the UFC could have done is they could have done kind of like a title eliminator challenge, right? Because I mean, for Justin and Paddy to be competing for this, it does kind of feel like Arman's being left out a little bit. But if they did some kind of a title eliminator, that would have been cool, right? Arman versus somebody versus the winner out of that would take on the winner out of Paddy and Justin, and then compete for the belt. I don't know. Anyhow, guys, Tsarukyan versus Pimblett. Wow, that would have been explosion and a half. Okay. Anyways, guys, I mean, Pimblett actually openly mocked Arman's injury, saying that he never had a back, and he's just full of, you know what. And look, if you add in Pimblett's history with Topuria, suddenly everybody hates everybody. You can't make this stuff up, guys. This is pure marketing genius. It's real tension. You can literally cut the air with the knife. That's how thick the air is around these guys, right? And then look, this is where the nightmare scenario begins, right? If you strip away all the drama, because honestly, at the end of the day, this is a fight. Okay, you've got Topuria versus Tsarukyan. Potentially, it's a beautiful nightmare. Okay, Topuria's got that elite boxing skills that I alluded to. He's a tactician. He's surgical with his strikes, and he's got like real fight-ending power. All right, he's calculated. He's meticulous. He knows when to make his moves. All right, and then he ends you. Okay, bottom line, man. Once he grabs you, you're done. All right, so the question becomes simple: can Topuria keep this fight standing long enough to land that ultimate end shot? Or does Tsarukyan needs to drag him into deep water and just break him down? I mean, see, this is what makes a fight so terrifying, because it's a contrast of style and skill. And that's why I really want to see this. So we've established the fact that the lightweight division is in chaos. Okay, a champion on hiatus, a number one contender being ignored. I mean, wow, guys, like, talk about the drama. And then an interim title shot that might derail everything, because now you got two guys competing for it that have nothing to do with Topuria or Tsarukyan. And it's kind of like, what the F just happened here, guys? But was this a mistake, or was this done strategically by design? The UFC doesn't make mistakes. The UFC does things very, very meticulously and calculated. They know exactly what they're doing. And because now, whoever wins between Paddy and Justin for that interim title, it sets themselves up at the showdown potentially between either Arman or Ilia, or the winner of a future match between Topuria and Tsarukyan. Can you imagine, guys? This is what I call a collision of the eras. Now, I did a lot of talking. I want to hear from you guys. Who wins this fight? Is it Topuria? Is it Tsarukyan? And who and what should the UFC do next? Drop your thoughts and comments below, guys. Please smash the like and subscribe to Duality 7X. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.